Good Saturday morning. This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing. Look at the next 7 days. We start with fire potential impacts in the short term. We do have some isolated lightning concerns today across far northeastern Nevada, parts of southwest Idaho, and another pocket up here into the mountains of Idaho. I want to stress this will be widely isolated, so it may not be as large as this coverage indicates, but low levels are quite dry, so most of any lightning that does occur would likely be dry. On Sunday, a smaller area across parts of the higher terrain of central Utah. As we look at the past 24 hours, not much really going on, both in terms of precipitation and lightning. We really didn't have anything significant. Our Great Basin fire activity continues to be quite moderate, with new fires in the red, existing fires in the yellow. Precipitation over the past 7 days quite dry across most areas. A little bit of very light precipitation up into the higher terrain of Idaho. Much heavier amounts as we go into parts of northern Nevada and into Idaho. But of course, a lot of this was about a month ago. Current fuel conditions, ERCs, critically dry along and south of a line through central Utah and Nevada. You can see these in the 80th and 90th percentile, 97 percentiles in the purple. Further northwards, they are in the yellow category, 50th to 70th percentile, and the upward pointing arrows indicate that those ERCs are continuing to increase as things dry out. But in some of those areas, it's the lighter grasses and brush that are critically dry. You can see this on the 10-hour fuel moisture, these areas in red, which cover just about all of Nevada, Utah, and into southern Idaho. That area in red is 3 to 4% on the 10-hour fuel level. So in any of those areas where you have red, or even some of this pink area where values are just around 5 or 6, there is the possibility of a push of fire. Here's a look at satellite imagery with upper-level maps superimposed. See a weak high-pressure ridge building through here, but of particular concern is this trough of low pressure across the Pacific Northwest and northern California, and associated moisture now moving into northwestern Nevada as it shifts further east towards eastern Nevada and southern Idaho. We'll have to watch for the possibility of isolated dry lightning in some of these areas. Further to the south, we see what is the leading edge of the summer monsoon. We'll see how long it takes for this stuff to move further northwards into the lower 48. So looking at the general weather pattern for today on the left-hand side, as high pressure builds in, it's that trough of low pressure we see through here, this kink in the height lines. That is our major concern. We have this little blotch of green through here in northeast Nevada, indicates where there is the potential for perhaps some high-base thunderstorms, very isolated in nature here across northeastern Nevada. Maybe another shot here in the mountains of central Idaho. Not widespread enough for high risk, but something we'll be monitoring as we go through the late afternoon and evening hours. So we look at weather conditions. Another thing with that trough of low pressure, it will be increasing some winds across the southern half of Nevada this afternoon. Darker green to orange shades indicates gusts of about 20 to maybe 25 miles per hour. Not enough for high risk, but something we'll keep an eye on. This map on the right is probability of precipitation. We have about 15 to 20% chances of probably high-base thunderstorms in the mountains of central Idaho. Fuels there still not critically dry. It's kind of hard to see here, but in the yellow, there's a little bit of an outline through here where probabilities of precipitation are about 10 to 15%. This is another area where very isolated, high-based thunderstorms and some localized downdrafts could occur. On Sunday, we see that trough kind of dissipate, but its residual moisture hangs in parts of eastern Utah. There could be some isolated convection as well, so that could lead to some thunderstorms. We actually have high risk tomorrow in some of these areas. Fuels here are much more critical than northern areas, so we'll see how this lightning develops. There's drier air punching in from the west. Also to the south, this is the stream of what could be the eventual southwest monsoon starting to gradually shift northwards. There'll be some isolated lightning, maybe even approaching southeastern Utah, to keep an eye on that. Now if we look at probability of precipitation, we see a bit of an outline here, 15-20% probabilities through some of these areas where we do have high risk. Winds lighter. These orange shade winds you see through here is where the model thinks there could be some outflow boundaries from thunderstorms, so we'll keep an eye on that. Now on Monday, High pressure starts to build on in. It's starting to pull up some of that monsoonal moisture into New Mexico. Drier, warmer air starting to push in from the southwest. See our fuels are drying out just about in all areas. Weather conditions on Monday, winds will be fairly light. Humidity getting bone dry still, single digits to low teens across most areas. We're not seeing precipitation actually reaching the ground through here, but this doesn't preclude any thunderstorms that could come through, so we'll have to keep an eye on this situation. On Tuesday, we see stronger high pressure building on in. Still warm and dry, but there is a deeper moisture starting to push up from the south gradually, but nothing that will affect us. Our fuel's critically dry here in terms of a significant fire potential. Looking at Wednesday, high pressure centering on in, so we get very hot. We'll be watching again this monsoonal moisture. Part of it wraps into southern California. We also see this area of black into parts of western Nevada. That could be the leading edge, perhaps, of some thunderstorm activity. We see that better on Thursday. Sometime between late Wednesday and Thursday, we should get a push of the leading edge, what will eventually become the summertime monsoon, starting to push into eastern Nevada, southern Idaho, so we'll have to watch out for our next more widespread lightning event towards the middle of next week, and that could continue on Friday as we're under large high pressure, but with subtropical moisture starting to rotate up from the south. Precipitation over the entire 7-day period, you see it starts piling up across New Mexico, parts of southern Arizona or eastern Arizona, and deeper stuff down here in Mexico eventually. And the following week or so, this will end up being the full-fledged summertime monsoon. We see that on the 8 to 14-day outlook. As we go from July 8th through the 14th, you can see through here above normal precipitation pushing into southern Utah at this point, the Arizona Strip. And above normal temperatures just about all areas. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day.